Mary Colwell is a radio and television producer, specialising in wildlife and nature programmes.
Being in the natural world is hugely important to me. It's vital, because I don't get that sense of wonder and awe anywhere else. I really don't get it inside a building or even inside a church. I get it outside. I think when you go around the world filming, you come across endless little moments that sort of mean a lot all of a sudden. And some of them are in exotic places like Africa and so on. But there's a beautiful spectacle that happens just here. You don't need to go to Africa or South America to experience anything like that. In the Somerset Levels, every winter, there is the winter roost of starlings. And you can have 1 million starlings gathering together over the Somerset Levels, swirling around in these wonderful, wonderful patterns. And you just think, wow, I'm awed, I'm speechless really as to the beauty of what I've just seen. I can't explain why the natural world is full of suffering, and that's quite a human term, but it's full of death and it's full of pain, no doubt about that. I don't understand why that's an integral part of it, but I do know it's a very important part of it, and that there's something in the message of suffering which is very important in the Christian message. All of that mixes into an understanding of faith. And I think we need to build up an awareness in everybody that this planet is absolutely unique. For example, this is the only planet that sings. As far as we know, in the whole of the rest of the universe, there isn't a singing planet. And I think if you believe that this is a planet which has God behind it, then it will reflect the face of God to you. And I think that reflection of God in the natural world is unique. What science is telling us is that we are really intimately connected to everything else. We're not some angel-like beings which are floating around on the top of everything else that's out there. We are fundamentally tied in a very basic level, at the level of our cells, the level of our genes, the stuff we're made out of, which I think challenges us to take a different view of ourselves, that we're not that separate, that we do have to rely on and take seriously our connection with everything else around us.
When Jessica and Joe Randall-Carrick got married in 2007, they wanted their wedding to be as environmentally friendly as possible. Pam Rhodes went to meet them earlier this year.
How you feeling, Joe?
Feeling good, excited. As we planned our wedding, we wanted to make sure that our wedding had the priorities that we have in life. So we wanted to make sure that we were being green, we were being kind to the environment.
Decisions you make in your day-to-day decisions impacts our international neighbour. You know, in the simplest decision of what banana you buy, or, you know, where you get your dress made and that sort of thing.
So it was important to be ethical, but did you want to be thrifty too?
Thrifty does come into it. When we got married, I was a student. Joe was working for the church, so we didn't have much money. So the £1,000 dress that, you know, people buy on average, made in some factory in the middle of who knows where, under what conditions, we ended up getting my dress from Oxfam, which cost me £70 and fitted beautifully. For the boys, like the groomsmen and everyone just wore their own suits. So rather than buying or renting other suits, we just asked everyone just to wear sort of dark coloured suits. And that looked lovely.
Your mother grew lots of the greenery for the flowers in her garden, so we weren't using anybody else's resources, we were growing it ourselves. So, and my mum made the cake.
And what about the choice of location? Was that carefully thought through too?
To come all the way up to Yorkshire, which is often the traditional way that people go to the bride's family home, seemed a bit daft for the environment as well as the costs, rather than be in London, which is where we all lived.
It was also the church that I worked in, that we both worshipped in, and so it was very, very close to our hearts.
Yep.
And we also had a reception there as well. So
in the church?
In the church itself. We just moved a ceilidh in the centre of the church, which is fantastic.
And at the end of it all, did you fly away to an exotic honeymoon?
Yes, in Devon. We didn't.
But we didn't fly.
Didn't fly either. But yeah, somebody lent their house to us, and it was very, very nice, and it was fantastic weather.
Yeah, we had a lovely time.
And was that because you were mindful of your carbon footprint?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So looking back, was this a success? Was it heartwarming and fulfilling for you both?
It was a fantastic wedding.
Yeah,
really,
we had
really
a great time.